You know, gone are the days kind of where a driver runs basically the exact same paint scheme for the entire season, same sponsor and everything. Nowadays, even the best drivers typically have 4 or 5 different primary sponsors throughout a season, but some of the smaller teams even have more, 10, 15. Sometimes these smaller teams run 30 different paint schemes a year. And not all those paint schemes are very good or fun to look at or just pleasing to the eye in any way, shape, or form. And today, I'm going to look back at the 10 worst paint schemes from the 2019 Cup Series season. There's some doozies in here. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric, and welcome to Out of the Groove. This is the sequel to my video I uploaded. I've lost track of the days this week. I think I uploaded it Tuesday. Tuesday I uploaded a video, my favorite paint schemes of the season, so if you missed that one, go back and check it out. I went through my top 10 favorite Cup Series schemes of the year. A lot of really great ones on that list. Today, as promised, however, I will be looking at my 10 least favorite paint schemes of the year. This is obviously completely subjective. These are just my least favorite, and I went through, rewatched a lot of clips from races, went online, found as many different paint schemes as I could. I'm convinced that I looked at pretty much every scheme that the Cup Series teams ran this year, and these are just my 10 least favorite. Obviously, we'll differ there, but feel free to debate me in the comments. Let me know which ones you didn't like this year. I think we'll agree on a few of these, but as usual, we'll probably disagree on some as well. But let's check it out. Let's get started. We got 10 pretty rough ones to look at. Let's start off with number 10. I'm going to react to all of these. All right, let's start off my least favorite list with one that might be kind of controversial. So this was Kurt Busch, Star Nursery car. I don't hate this one. For starters, I don't really like the Star Nursery logo that much. I also just don't like some of the clashing colors here. So the yellow and blue by itself, while I don't love that yellow or that blue, I don't hate them together. The kind of weird reddish orange trim, I'm not a big fan of, but the thing that really just blows my mind, and is the reason I could not look at this paint scheme when he ran it, it's the Monster Energy logo. The way it's shoehorned in there, I've read, apparently, Monster Energy has it in their contract that their logo must appear on top of a black background at all times. That's what you see right there. They've threw this little black quarter, or his little side panel here with the little black, just so they could stick the Monster Energy logo on it. You see it also on the rear deck lid as well. And that just doesn't work. That just sticks out like a sore thumb on this paint scheme. When I first saw this on track, I thought it was a joke. It honestly looks like the wheel well has been expanded, like they've cut away some of the sheet metal there, so the wheel just has a whole bunch of clearance. That's kind of how it looks. Either way, I don't love this paint scheme with the blue and yellow and the red trim, but I really just, when I saw the Monster Energy logo, it was hard for me to look at this thing. It just made me shudder when I saw it. So I don't hate it, but I definitely don't like it that much. That's why it's number 10 on this list. Let's move on. Dang, I didn't really think about this when I made this list, but my first two here are both Chip Ganassi cars. I don't think I have any other Chip Ganassi cars on my bad list here, and I had some of theirs on the good list yesterday. So cut me some slack here. But this one, the Clover car for Kyle Larson. Again, I don't hate it. This photo especially makes it look kind of bad because the Monster Energy green kind of clashes with the Clover green, so that's just unfortunate. Can't really fault the sponsor there. That's just bad timing. But what I really don't like is the orange numbers. I just don't think the orange numbers work that well with the green and the black and the silver. The orange just feels kind of out of place for me. It makes it look tacky, I guess. That's just my personal opinion here. Like the door with the green and the dark green Clover logo and everything, I actually kind of like that in the background. If the number on the side was just like white or maybe silver to kind of match that silver stripe, this would be actually a pretty cool paint scheme, I think. But the hard, harsh, not really matching orange, because there's no orange anywhere else on this car. It's just on the numbers, on the 42s. That just seems out of place for me. And it doesn't help that the Monster Energy green clashes with the Clover green. And for that reason, I can't get behind this one as well. It just feels like this one has an easy fix. Why make it the hard orange? Why not make it silver or white or something? I just feel like that would have made it a lot better. So this one also just didn't like it that much. So Chip Ganassi Racing off to a rough start in today's video. Sorry, Chip. Number 8, and this one might be a little controversial. I'm going to put Bubba Wallace's McDonald's car. I know he ran this at Atlanta early in the season. That was when we also saw Larson's McDonald's car for the first time. I loved Larson's McDonald's car, and it was in my video earlier this week. The red and yellow, the bright red and yellow popped out. That was an amazing paint scheme. One of my favorites for sure. This one, I just don't like it nearly as much. The red hood with the white kind of bumper and the red stripe and the yellow McDonald's logo. The hood in front of this car is not too bad. I don't dislike that. I really just don't like the side and the back of this car. I don't like how there's just like a red box around the 43. Why is the 43 boxed in? The 43, we're used to seeing a little swoop next to it, or even just nothing next to it. But the box, why is it boxed in like a Happy Meal? Is the 43 like the toy in my Happy Meal? This looks like a toy car I would get in my kids' meal if I went to McDonald's. And then the yellow McDonald's M on the white just doesn't work as well. The Larson car works because it's bright red with the yellow M on it. White with the yellow M, white and yellow, just not really my thing. So that's why I have to knock this one a little bit. The main reason I'm taking points away from this one is just because when you compare it to Larson's car, Larson's car was beautiful. You just wonder what happened here. What happened on this one? I just don't like this one nearly as much, and I'm disappointed by it. It disappointed me. Anyway, that's number 8. That one might be controversial because I think some people actually like this paint scheme a pretty good amount. So, I don't know, feel free to debate me there. I just didn't really like it that much. Number 7. Now, RCR has a lot of sponsors, they have a lot of paint schemes, and some of them are bound to suck. That's just the way it is. Law of averages says that if you have a lot of paint schemes, a lot of sponsors, a couple of them here and there are just going to be bad. And this one was one of the worst. What's going on here? The whole car is basically a base white, but then the whole roof area, the top half of the car is black, which clashes. It just seems out of place, seems weird. And I get what they're trying to do here with the fire and ice, I guess. But man, if your theme is fire and ice, I feel like you could do something way cooler. Why is the fire and ice like graphics only covering the bottom parts of the car? Why is it not going up onto the hood? Why is it not going up higher? Why is it just like on the bottom? And the red number 3 on the side just doesn't match either, because you got the blue ice, you got the orangish yellow fire, and then you got a red number 3 in the middle. It just, none of this matches. And the fire and ice don't really merge in with each other. They're kept completely separate. This is just kind of a boring paint scheme. None of it really works for me. There's also, I just noticed, there's also like some red trim. It looks like by the driver side window. Like, where's that come? I don't understand this paint scheme. I just don't like this one that much. I liked the Jack Daniels one in my last video because it was the iconic black, like hard-hitting black and white on the 3 car. This one's just all over the place. This is hard-hitting white and red, and I don't like this one. This is another one that I just cannot get behind no matter how hard I try. Alex Bowman had a lot of great schemes this year. I love his normal Nationwide car. I liked his patriotic Nationwide car he ran this year. I mentioned that in my last video. His Valvoline car is outstanding. His Exalta car is cool. This one's not. This one's not good at all. This one again has a lot of clashing colors. It's orange, it's white, which is just kind of not really my thing. But then it kind of morphs into red at the end, and then you got the Lumar logo, which is black and red. There's no orange, there's no yellow on that logo at all. And of course, there is no bright blue. Where is this bright aqua teal, not teal, it's like just a bright blue. Where is this coming from? This isn't in the logo. This doesn't match the flames anywhere. The blue just seems completely chosen at random. I need to see some of that blue somewhere else on the car because it just feels so out of place. It feels shoehorned in. It just doesn't match the rest of the car. It's just a lot of warm colors with a giant cool color just plastered on top of it. It doesn't match. It doesn't go together. So that's why I have not been able to get behind this paint scheme. He's run this paint scheme or something very similar to it now for a couple of years, and I just cannot get behind it for the life of me. So sorry, but this one's it's number 6 on my least favorite schemes from 2019. Yeah, I don't know what this one is. I don't know what this blue Walmart Family Mobile T-Mobile phone plan 41. I don't know what this is. This isn't a Daniel Suarez paint scheme. Someone snuck into the Stewart-Haas Racing shop and wrapped Daniel Suarez's car in this paint scheme because there's no way they intended for this to be on Suarez's car. Daniel Suarez, who's got the red Haas, the orange Eris, those types of colors, the red Coca-Cola. Why is this a thing? Why is this just off kind of dried up blue? Why is that it? Cool to see Walmart on the hood of a car. Don't really see that often. That's a big company. I like to see them on the hood of a race car, but you can barely even see the Walmart logo. The biggest words are Family Mobile in a boring, like Arial Times New Roman type font. Small print. This is just nothing about this works, even from a sponsorship perspective. Like I said, you can't see that Walmart logo. I mean, I guess the blue is supposed to give away that it's Walmart, but I don't know if that's going to work. If I zoom in, there's kind of a design maybe on the door. I can't really tell if there's a design on the side of this car or not. I think it looks basically like it's just a plain blue. And I like blue, don't get me wrong. I love blue on race cars. But this one's just boring. This is just an extremely and uncharacteristically boring scheme, especially for one of NASCAR's top teams. The top teams in NASCAR can hire the best graphic designers. They get the big sponsors who are willing to spend all this money to design a fancy car. It feels like they dropped the ball with this one, so it's number 5 on my list. Number 4, remember what I said about RCR? They had a lot of sponsors, a lot of paint schemes, and some of their paint schemes just didn't look very good. This one was Tyler Reddick. He ran this one at Daytona. I think even Austin Dillon ran a car similar to this one. I think even Hemrick ran a paint scheme similar to this one, but I'm going to pick on this one specifically because this photo especially, this lighting, It just looks like snot on a race car. What's Symbicort even do? I don't even know what Symbicort is. Is it allergy medicine? Because if it's allergy medicine, I will give it some points for being on theme. Because, you know, allergy medicine gets rid of mucus in your nose and stuff like that. And this looks like a mucus-colored car. So, okay, it's with the theme. But I gotta look up what Symbicort actually does. Okay, it treats asthma and COPD. Is this the sponsor from those COPD ads? The kid, like you do sometimes, Grandpa? Those commercials? Is that what this is from? I'm so bad at this. Well, in that case, yeah, the mucus green doesn't make any sense. And needless to say, even with the mucus green, there's mucus green, bright blue, red. This paint scheme makes no sense. And then I'm not a fan of just the plain white logo with the Symbicort logo isn't exactly popping out, isn't exactly jumping to my attention. There's a small print on there. I can't even read that. Like, what is that? It's like some medical jargon, some like the technical, the Latin meaning of the word. Symbicort, I have no idea what that says. This paint scheme sucks. It's not good at all. RCR had a couple of these with Symbicort last year. I know Symbicort's a big sponsor of NASCAR, big sponsor of RCR, but you guys gotta tweak this paint scheme a little bit. This one's hard on the eyes. Oh, this one's just terrible. Number 3, we're down into the podium here. This is the worst of the worst here. This one's just terrible. I hate to pick on the small teams here because the small teams don't get enough love as it is. They should get more respect. So I hate to pick on the smaller teams here, but my God, some of these paint schemes, I don't know what they're doing. Now, I will defend this paint scheme. This was Josh Bilicki. This was at Homestead the last race of the season. But I will give them some slack here. Apparently, this is not what the car was originally supposed to look like. Now, basically the paint scheme is the same, but Josh Bilicki posted a photo. NASCAR apparently made them change it from this. This version of the car has the white number, the white 52 on the side. They apparently made them change it to the black 52. I don't know what the reasoning was for. I don't know if that's actually true or what happened here. But with the black number 52 on the side, this looks awful. The black 52 obviously doesn't match the rest of the car because the rest of the car is white, red, and mostly gray. That's kind of an off, like a grayish black on the rear end there. The big, bold, in-your-face, dark black numbers on the side just doesn't match at all. But even with that being said, you know, the white to black gradient is not exciting. That's a monochromatic race car. That's not fun. That's not exciting. And then the red arrows on the side and then the light blue on the logo. I just don't understand. I don't like the arrows on the bottom. That's not cool. That's not good looking trim. That makes this car look like a forklift in my opinion. The blue logo on the hood and everything is fine, but I'd like to see a little bit of that blue maybe incorporated elsewhere on the paint scheme since the blue is really pretty on the logo. I actually like that blue. I would rather them maybe incorporate more of the blue instead of the red. And anyway, with the black numbers especially, this car is not great. With the white numbers, it's a little bit better. Still not very good, but so I'll cut them some slack for that one. But this was a tough one to see. I know I said I hated picking on the smaller teams, but what is this? This car? It's just bricks. It's just bricks. It's a dull brown and black. And it's bricks on the side. That's all it is. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, Eric, maybe they ran this at Indianapolis, the Brickyard, so it's a theme. Nope, they ran this at ISM Raceway. Oh, but Eric, maybe Indianapolis is sponsoring the car or something. No, it's Watkins Glen. They're the ones sponsoring this. Why is it bricks? I understand that their foundation or the fan memories, whatever this sponsor was, is you can probably buy like a commemorative brick at Watkins Glen or something like that. Great, awesome, but don't make the whole paint scheme bricks. Don't make it bricks. I just don't know who signed off on this. This doesn't look good. If they were running this paint scheme at Indianapolis, for example, I could maybe it still wouldn't be very original. It wouldn't look very good, but I could be like, all right, there's a theme there. This is all over the place. They ran it at Phoenix. It's a Watkins Glen sponsor, and the car is bricks. It's a brick car. I've heard of a brick house before. I just hit the camera because I'm that frustrated by this paint scheme. I've heard of a brick wall. I've heard of a brick house, the yard of bricks. I've never seen a brick. I'm throwing my laptop around now too. I've never seen a brick car, and I wish I never had. This doesn't look very good. This is number 2. All right, we got to move on to number 1 here, but before I get to number 1, let me throw up a few honorable mentions here. Some other ones that were not that great, but not bad enough to make it onto this list. Yeah, this Stenhouse one, I don't watch Dogs Most Wanted, whatever this is, but this paint scheme's just boring and weird. Just got a guy with long hair and sunglasses, and I just don't like it. Not a good paint scheme. Corey LaJoie, the pink flamingo Corvette parts. I'm not a big fan of this one either. It's kind of fun. He ran it at Miami, so it's kind of on theme with Miami. It's tropical looking, but I don't know. I don't love this one either. Matt DiBenedetto's just generic Toyota car. I didn't like this one that much either. I thought it was kind of boring, and the yellow 95 kind of clashed with the rest of the paint scheme. There really are no other yellow things on this car. I feel like with just a white number or a red number, this might have been looked a little bit better. Don't really like this scheme. Bubba Wallace had some good ones this year, but he also did some lame ones. I personally am not a big fan of the Victory Junction car. I don't know, the blue and the green doesn't really work for me that well. This one especially, I don't love it. William Byron with this plain blue car, I don't know about this one either. This one's just boring to me, and I feel like Byron has so many other great schemes. This one's just a letdown. Daniel Hemrick, this one's just plain. It's black and white with a little bit of blue. That's just boring. Eric Almirola's got Thanksgiving dinner on his car here. That's kind of fun, I guess, but it's like a beige color car. I don't know. That doesn't pop out on the racetrack. That doesn't get me excited either. And lastly, I hate to pick on RCR again, but this rig up. What is this? I don't know what this is. It's just, I don't know about this thing. It looks like a snowstorm on a race car, and it just really feels off-brand for the 3 car. Anyway, those are my dishonorable mentions, I guess. Now, last but not least, well, last and least, I guess that's the point of this list. This is the least of my list, and it's last. Number 1, the worst paint scheme, in my opinion, from the 2019 NASCAR Cup Series season. A lot of y'all probably saw this one coming. I hate to sound like that guy, but it's the Kevin Harvick Millennial paint car. The Millennial car, he ran for the All-Star race. This thing, it wasn't funny. For one, a lot of things on the car, like the phrase yeet, that's not really a millennial thing. That's more of whatever came after millennial. Like, I'm on that edge. I'm 22, so I'm kind of not quite a millennial, but I'm also not quite, what is it, Gen Z, I guess? This feels more like a Gen Z car to begin with, so the theme is already a little off there. But then if we just talk about the actual look of this car, it's hideous. This light dusted pink is a hideous race car. With the neon green number 4 on the side, this thing is hideous. This is an eyesore. And we had to watch this thing lead laps in the All-Star race. That was a crime against nature, if you ask me. This paint scheme, I can applaud Busch for trying to be creative, trying to do something new, and I actually gave them a lot of credit. Their Gen X car that they did also this year, I gave that one credit. I put that on my top 10 best list because it looked better and it was better themed. I thought that car was pretty cool, actually, albeit a little cheesy. This one's cheesy. This one's off theme. This one's ugly. This one's just bad all around. I mean, okay, it got us talking about Busch Beer, and it's going to be in a lot of photos. It's in this video right here I'm talking about. We're still talking about it months later, so good job, Busch. You got some publicity for this one. But this is an ugly paint scheme. I don't want to see this one ever hit the track again. I don't even want to see this one in my dreams or nightmares again. I want this one gone. This is the last I want to talk about or look at this race car. But it's just ugly. I could let it slide at least if the paint scheme looked cool. You know, the sayings on the side, the phrases, the emojis would be a little cringy. But I could let it slide if the paint scheme looked cool. But they put no effort in at that point. It was just a base pink with green 4. Just why? Contrary to what it says on the side there, this car is anything but bay. This is not bay. This is nay. Nay, I say to this car. I don't want to be like that guy who's just like hating on the younger generation, but I mean, this is my generation and I still hate it. I guess my generation wasn't Busch Beer's target audience. Maybe they were directing this towards like people in their 40s or 50s who are like able to kind of sit back and laugh and like criticize the young, you know, that's what old people like to do. They like to say, them youngins don't know what they're doing, you know. Maybe that's the crowd they were appealing to. Like, look how silly these kids are. Good thing we also think they're silly, so buy our beer. The message just missed the mark on this one for Busch Beer, and so I hate it. It's a terrible car. Number 1 on my list, worst paint scheme of 2019, and it wasn't even close, so there you have it. That is my video. Oh, goodness, delete that off my hard drive. I never want to see that again. Anyway, y'all, thank you for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and remember to subscribe if you're new. We talk about NASCAR. Usually we talk about NASCAR news and stuff. Today we're having a little bit of fun, but subscribe if you're new because we talk about NASCAR all the time. It may be the off-season, but believe me, there is no shortage of topics to discuss. So thanks for watching, y'all, and a big thank you, of course, to my Patreon supporters. Mike Waffles, Michael Harrison, at You As The Stars, Cameron James, John Koblenz, Jason R. Long, Isaac Dennison, Mika Suzuki, iFantasyRace.com, TheRacingInsiders.com, Matthew Koulopoulos, Pepe Lucius, Jeremy Conklin, Emilio Garcia, Joey DiMachino, Sky Racing Form, Bryce Schumacher, Bryce Starcher, Scott McNew, Colton Austin, Bradley Pelletier, and the rest of these incredible Patreon supporters. Couldn't do this show, couldn't do this entire YouTube channel without the support I get from you guys every single month. So thank you a ton for supporting me. And you can support as well. Check out that top link down in the description. Anyway, y'all, that's going to do it. If you missed any of my episodes from this week, definitely go check them out on my channel. And I'll have some more episodes up here in the not so distant future. Stay tuned, y'all. Big things are still in the works. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you again very, very soon. Get that this Millennial pink car will not delete. My laptop's like crashed since I started trying to delete. It'll get out of here eventually, I'm sure. Alright, well, thanks for watching, y'all. Yeah, bye. Have a good one.